Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, scrappers, scrapettes, and scrapazoids everywhere. Just jumping on real quick. Again, if somebody else is on, I'm going to replay the video. I'm going to post the video anyway, so you can have your cake and eat it too. I didn't see anybody else on, and I did check, but it takes just a second for that to change, and I really don't like to jump on when I know somebody else is on because it's just bad form. But it's not going to be that long a vid anyway. I had some stuff here on the bench to finish up. So, that's always a good place to start it. So for those of you who are new to the channel, my Ballywick is computer scrapping. I scrap what I have to, and I resell what I can. My Ballywick is recycling older computers and older telecom equipment for, gold refining, gold recovery. And if I get a computer that works, right now we're still able to get fresh refreshes of Windows 10, and I have a few computers that we were able to wipe and restart, which was really good. So we did those, but the upgrade cycle is really, really hitting. You might find some value in your PCs still, cards, RAM, and possibly iCore 7s as far as chips goes. Chips goes. Sounds like a restaurant. Let's go to Chips Goes. My regular live is Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, unless it snows 18 inches like it did this week. I am really stuck in the house. I got out yesterday. I got the sidewalk cleared. And hi, Dave Donahue. Sister, good morning. Trucker for Life, welcome in. And as I said, if somebody else is on, don't feel bad about, cutting over there, because I will repost the video. I always keep them under an hour just for that reason. Anyway, so yesterday I got almost completely wiped out of RAM. All I have left now is the gold fingered RAM without the shield. I have a pile here that maybe I'll just go through that with you right now. Again, my mission, should you decide to accept it, is really teaching. I like to teach people about different kinds of e-scrap. I love when I'm selling e-scrap. But my primary thing is really showing people what kind of value is in there, Hello, Shattered. Good morning to you. All right. Please, guys, don't forget to hit the like, double tap on the screen. It really helps the channel a lot. What it does is it improves the algorithms so that TikTok can promote your channel for you. So this is called shielded RAM. And shielded RAM, I get a lot of this in servers and PCs and gaming things. This is older. This is probably what they call DDR2. It could be 3. DDR is determined by where the slot is, and I'm not always right with those. This to me probably is DDR3. DDR4 and DDR5 are highly resellable, so if you get RAM, you want to make sure you do a reverse search on Google and make sure that it's not DDR3 or DDR4, which is what I do with these. What I've taken to doing is putting them into lots. Basically, I'm pulling them from the server that I'm going to dismantle and putting them up in groups of 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. You can people can buy what they need. The reason being is I'm finding a lot of people like myself are, because of the astronomical price of new equipment, we're trying to get the last breath out of our old equipment. I'm doing the same, and that works out really well. Psst, come back here. So, did everybody survive the snowstorm? Oh, it was a beaut, I'll tell you. But all in all, I think, at least my part of the country, we managed okay. What I'm doing is I'm sorting this so I can show you some of the different kind of RAM that we've had. Now, somebody called me last night and bought almost all the RAM that I had in stock. I've got a couple of servers behind me, and I'm hoping to find more RAM in those. I usually just sell it by the pound for scrap, but what's starting to happen is people are starting to want it for their older servers, so they're needing to buy it in groups of 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, whatever it actually needs. So as I take the server apart, I put that RAM aside. I include that in the specifics so they know what it came from. I can't promise it's going to work. I don't make that promise, but I can put it, I can sort it. It's always good for gold recovery, and these are not that hard to take the heat shields off. The reason I'm leaving them is in the event of resale. All you have to do, I have a little heater about yay by yay opening on it. I lay it in there for 35 seconds or 40 seconds or whatever, wear gloves, and then I just pop the heat shield off. If you don't pop the heat shield off, the chips are going to stick to the heat shield, and that just, But you just do a quick heat them up and pop them open, and you can go ahead and do your gold recovery. How much RAM is in? I missed it. Wait a minute, hold on a second. How much RAM is in a server sister? Sister asks, how much RAM is in a server? Said sister. Ha. I've developed a new tongue twister. It depends. It depends on what the server requires. It depends what the CPU requires. It depends what the server's purpose is. An office server might not need as much memory, which is what RAM is, as something else. So it's a hard question to put a specific answer to. I do know that most of the RAM I get. Hi, Golden. Welcome in. Sister laughed at that. She got that. Considering how tired I am this morning, sister, that was a tongue twister. God, you guys are awesome. My fans all know I'm a gigantic goofball. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, this hi C Biggs. I'm enjoying your journey, by the way. I wish you well, and God bless you. You're really an inspiration. It's not an easy journey, and God bless you for it. It's good to see you looking healthy and feeling much better, and just really, really an awesome story. Twister Sister. Is that my Twisted Sister? Oh, that's a band. Oh my God. Fortunately, most of you guys have been with me for a year, so you know there's nothing I like better than a good chuckle. Alright, so what I've done is I just separated this. This came out of a server I did yesterday. Whoops. And it seems I get 4 gig, which this is. This is all 4 gigabyte RAM, so I'm going to group this together. 2, 4, 6. I hope I can find one more. I tend to like to block them in groups of 4, like I said, and if I can find things that are identical, I've been grouping them that way just because it seems to be a better choice. Hopefully we'll get some more stuff out of the ones that are behind me. So this would all go together. It's 4 gigabytes. I got a Hynix heat shield, HYNIX, and it's a Dell. Okay, these are Dell. This is Samsung, so I would separate that. And I put all that in the description so people who are trying to refurbish their servers are able to do so. Then you get some stuff like this. This is just 2 gigs. Still good for gold recovery, but you don't want to mix up 2 gigs and 4 gigs. At least I try not to. And so I've been grouping it by that. This is Kingston. This is 1 gig. This whole Ramageddon thing is not getting any better any sooner. DDR2 is more expensive than DDR3. I don't claim to be an expert about RAM and memories. I don't even claim to be an expert about computers. I'm really good at taking them apart, but other than that, I don't know. So you can always take mixed RAM like this for scrap value. Scrap-wise, I usually sell it for like 40 bucks a pound for scrap, but if I'm reselling it, you know, I'm putting it in lots that'll fit into computers. So, I did sell, all the DDR3 sold. That all went. This is all DDR2. I got a feeling it might just go for scrap. So that's shielded RAM. This is considered shielded RAM too, but this is super easy. A little bit of light heat on there. Pop off the copper heat sink, put it in with your copper, and you've got yourself another stick of RAM for, you know, scrapping purposes. And that is different. See this is over more. This is probably DDR1 or original DDR. And again, it just depends. You see, it depends where the slot is, and that's all I know about it. I know 3 is over here, and then, but I don't know enough that I wouldn't do it without a. Thank you, Claudia. Claudia, appreciate that. Yeah, you know, most of the information I get from my subscribers. I have no problem saying, you know what, I don't know. Drop me a comment. I just want to drop the heat down just a little bit. This is my dining room, and it gets, starting at about 10 o'clock in the morning, it just gets natural sunlight in here like crazy, and it gets nice and warm. All right. What's in the box? This is what's in the box of what is actually in the box. I'm going to take some things apart here. I am working on a telecom and server board order for my board buyer. He doesn't live, he's not too far, and I really would like to have a nice worthy load to bring out to him sometime this week. But again, it's going to depend on the weather. You know. So what I'm doing is I'm really scrapping a lot of things to prepare for his order, and see if I can get those over to him. I can ship to cellularboards.com. I can ship to Board Sort. But, you know, this fellow is local, and he's a real, you know, so I don't have to ship it. It's cheaper for me to run a tank of gas to and from than to ship. And, you know, if I have a big enough order, he'll send down a truck. But for him to do that, it's really got to be a big order, and I don't think this is going to be big enough. I got a storage bin. Everything's all sorted. It's in boxes. You know, so the boxes are all nice and full. And when I need to fill an order, I just go down and empty out the boxes, you know, for whatever it is I need. And that's been working pretty well. Movers are coming this weekend. They're going to bring my front room back down. Everything's been in storage. You know, we had the floors done. And that's going to be Saturday. Boy, these are little. So today we are scrapping. I hope there's 2 in here. Yes, there are. We are going to scrap 2 IBM Blade Centers. Again, these are older. They've been decommissioned. They are outdated technology that will not work. I've already spoken to the person I bought them from, and I know what to expect. I mean, they were sold for parts and scrap, and that's what I bought them for. All right. Now, when I'm looking for things to buy, I always go gold hunting. I'm a gold digger. Not that kind of gold digger. Because I've been doing these as long as I have, I do have a pretty good idea what I'm going to find inside. And when I go to purchase it, I ask a lot of questions. I make sure they show me a picture of the inside. I try to buy them by the pallet full when I can. But, the weather's a factor right now. I don't have any place to store anything, so Boom boom, what's up? Thanks for the wow. Hey guys, thanks. You're awesome. It's 79 people in the house. That's not too bad. I'm humbled. Every time I go on live, I'm just humbled by how many people take the gift of their time and just spend a little bit with me. I think that's often. Thank you, Scout. Congratulations. #2 viewer badge. Thank you so much. Stars in Heaven, I think that's supposed to be very good. #2 viewer badge. Thank you so much. John, thank you. Hand wave. Hello. And Johnny, Fat Kid the Boss. How are you, my friend? Haven't talked to you in a long time. Oh, good. Nice to see a lot of you back. Good. Yeah, we had about a month or so that we really couldn't get on at all, and it just absolutely trashed the algorithms in the search engines. There wasn't anything I could do. We had a flood and we were under construction, so yeah. I am doing well. Thank you for asking, boss. I am doing very well. Coming up from the construction, the first floor has all been refloored. The only room that isn't done is my bedroom, and that'll get done last. I'm going to have them do upstairs, and then I'm going to move that bedroom upstairs after they do the floor. So yeah. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm spending this snowy, freezing cold. Light them up, guys. That was cool. The boss just lit it up. Thanks, boss. Yeah, good stuff going on. The house is getting put back together. I'm in the process of unboxing everything. Putting everything back in the nice new cabinets, and I've got to order appliances. It's the only thing I've got left to do. I'll do that after the first of the month. I'm running right now. It's just me in the house right now. That may change at any given moment. I have a lot of people who... we have a lot of family who's out of town, and it'd be nice to have a place to offer them a place where to stay. When they come down to visit their family or their kids or whatever it is they're doing, they'll have a place to stay. One of our family members has a son who's very active in football. He was heading for pro, and I don't remember what actually happened. I think he got a coaching opportunity, maybe at Ohio State or something along that, and I'm not 100% sure where and when. And he did very well, but he's going to be at UConn next season, and we're all very excited about that. And I'm sure, like I said, I want to make sure I have everything ready in case somebody, they want to come down and watch the game. They don't have to drive all the way to Rhode Island after. All right, let's see what we got here. Servers are my favorite thing to scrap. These blade servers, these are what I actually look for, and the reason is there's not a lot of waste and a lot of extra weight on them. I'm going to get by studying. Make sure you study, because sometimes you just get a bunch of garbaggio, Bubba, welcome in. Michelle, welcome in. I already know because I've scrapped. I can't even tell you how many of these. Scrapped a lot of them. These are copper heat sinks. I'm going to pull them very carefully. I'm going to list those for resale. A lot of people are buying the copper heat sinks for copper recovery. Yes, it does. It does look good. It looks very good, sister. Very good indeed. I know I'm going to get some peripheral cards, and I know I'm going to get a good board out of this. How do I know it? I've scrapped so many of them that I could actually tell you what's in them in my sleep. But I don't have all that, those big bulky servers. Those things are freaking heavy. I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather deal with this. Plus, I think I can offer my buyer a better value because there's not all that wasted space for you to get from the power supplies. This doesn't have, I don't have all the power supplies. I don't have the extra metal. I don't have the extra dead space that I would have on something else. So I tend to prefer to find these to scrap. All right, we've been talking about RAM. Let's see what we got. Ooh, yes. Low profile. This is called low profile RAM. And it's intended, it goes in a blade server like this. I don't particularly like this kind of RAM. But this is 8 gigabytes, I'll be danged. Huh. So this would be called low profile RAM. You can see why. You'll find this in older computers a lot. I don't know. I'll gather up the bunch and I'll offer it up for resale here and see if anybody wants it. And Yes, that's exactly where you would find them. The boss says, I've got a couple of those that look identical. They came out of an IBM data center from a school. Yes. And that's where you'll find a lot of these. Make friends with the schools, guys. They're glad to have people come and get the garbage out of there. Of course, they've taken the hard drives, and that's, you know, that's just a matter of security. So, like I said, when I sell this, I sell it as scrap just to protect myself. If it works, hallelujah. If it doesn't, well, you know, it is what it is. I can't test it. I don't have a way to test this machine. I don't have a way to install an operating system. You know. So this is 2 gig. No, excuse me, 8 gig. Well, that's weird. Oh no, they're all 8 gig. Okay, so this is 8 gig. It gives me the speed, but not the DDR. 2R times 4. That's probably DDR2. I've got to reverse image search it on Google to be sure. Yes, the cabinets are heavy duty. They sure are. These blade servers slide in and out to a cabinet where there's 8, 10, 12, 24, whatever the number actually comes up to be of these inside of it. So yes, the cabinets are indeed heavy, my friend. I don't really bother with the cabinets. I try to just get the servers. If you know what you're looking for, there's plenty of good stuff out there that you can buy and salvage, and you know, the boards are good. These are great boards. These are older, and I'll show you some of the stuff that's on this board. I can already see this is a very nice board. They're going to grade it as a dual metal socket motherboard no matter what I do, because that's what it is. I have had instances where these have been so loaded with gold material I've asked and gotten an upgrade on them to telecom grade board. But that's something you got to ask your board buyer. And a reasonable board buyer will work with you. All right, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 sticks of IBM low profile 8 gigabytes 2R times 4 RAM. So I'll bundle that up like that, and I'll sell that as a lot to somebody who might be looking for it. They can scrap it or reuse it, whichever works. Somebody asked about how much RAM do servers have in them. These are just blanks. They didn't need as much memory as the machine was made to handle. They didn't need as much, so they didn't fill every slot. Okay. Some kind of a daughter card here. Let's get that out. Oh, you are not kidding, Kiana. You are not kidding. I'm saving, I have a lot of, I do have a lot of RAM saved. But you know, the thing is sometimes you need money, you gotta sell some of it. I would never let it all go. These copper heat sinks, I've got probably 100 of them down in the basement that I'm saving. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think RAM right now, if last check, I think it was $60 a pound, maybe at BoardSort and cellularboards.com. I think it's gonna go even higher. I mean, gold is going higher. This whole ballywick with the tariffs, and believe me, guys, even those of us who live in this country are not crazy about it. It's unstable. That's what it is. It's not stabilized enough to make a decision where to place your money. A lot of people are going back into precious metals. My silver, I'm a coin collector. They were trying to get rid of it. They were installing a new version, and I had to dismantle it. Well, you must have done very well with that, my friend. You must have gotten a lot of goodies out of there, or you haven't gotten to them yet. Excellent. So there's gold under here, beautiful gold plating, gold pins like these. Anytime you see something like this attached to something like that, you're going to probably get really good gold recovery. And these are older, these computers. Anything pre-1990 is going to have a much higher gold recovery. See how it's a much darker color? It's a very darker, much darker color than some of the plasticky Ichor boards. Hi, are you kidding me? How are you, my friend? Good to see you. So, I'm not going to nip this off. The reason being, those of you who follow me on a regular basis know that I fill priority flat rate boxes for resale. This is something I'll put into the resale box. Okay, sure, I could recover all that gold myself, but then there's nothing left for you. So that would go into one of my resale boxes. Sold out yesterday. Couldn't believe it. All the boxes I talked about yesterday morning were all gone. I think I've got peripheral cards left. Always cover your face when you release these, just to be sure. You don't want a face full of E-scrap, that would hurt. I do take the heat sinks off. My buyer doesn't really care, but I'm saving the aluminum. You got to get these little clips off. These just twist. But you know, I save the aluminum. Aluminum is, I call that my money in the bank thing, because both aluminum and copper are highly in demand. Copper is just, the pricing is absolutely insane. But hang on a second. Need a flathead. I need a flathead. I need I'm sorry, it's not a flathead, it's a slotted screwdriver. Okay. Jeez. Truck's here? What truck? I'm actually working right now with a gentleman. He's into the school district. He's a retired policeman, and he does security for the school district, so he's been able to participate in a lot of the school district's auctions. The hang-up is always and forever going to be shipping. You know that, and I know that. But he's working on putting a pallet together for me. I can't take it now. My problem is I can't ship this time of year because there's no place to put anything because of the ice and the snow and, you know, the unpredictability of the weather. But he's working on a pallet of these for me, and I'm really excited about that. He's got really, really good feedback, and I've spoken to him on the phone numerous times, so that's going to be a good. That'll be a good pickup for us, I think. And I do have a storage locker, and it's on a flat cert. It's like an underground garage, so there's no problem with the lift gate going in and dropping the pallet into the storage bin. It's really it was a very fortunate find for me. And then I go down, you know, I take home whatever it is I'm going to need, and take it apart, get it all scrapped out, put the metal in the truck, and I'm debating whether I'm going to leave this on or not. I think I am. Yeah. Okay. So I'll take this out as a set. It even has all kinds of directions and things on. So we'll take that out as a set and we'll put that together. A lot of 2. These could easily be scrapped as pure copper. All you got to do is take a hammer and knock those out of there. They come right out. But again, you're always going to make better money reselling than you are scrapping. Reselling. What am I doing? I am taking apart an IBM server and having a load of fun doing it. And I'm enjoying my gold family and my TikTok subscribers. And my first post this morning was, I'm not getting out of bed. All that snow shoveling yesterday, good God almighty, I couldn't move. Couldn't move. And that's exactly right, Fat Kid the Bust. I am breaking down non-functioning, decommissioned units, outdated units, things that can't be updated. And I am breaking them down to resell components where I can, and to get an order together for my board buyer for the board. Now, I do sell boards, guys. It's just that the shipping is atrociously expensive, and what winds up happening, unless you're local to me and you want to come pick up boards, that's fine. But you know, the shipping really comes out to like $1 a pound, and there's really very little value left by the time it gets to you guys. You know, I'm very lucky. I've got a local board buyer, and that takes a lot of that stress off. I could, if somebody, you know, somebody, yeah, they are not, I sell them as being non-functioning. They were sold to me as being untested, so I have no way to test this. But if somebody were to say, hey, I have IBM XYZ 23200, do you happen to have a board? I'd say, sure. You know, if I have that board, I'd be glad to send it down to you, test it, see if it works. If it works, great. You know, but I'm going to sell it to you as scrap, because I'm not going to take that chance. So I'm always going to sell it for scrap price, unless I've gotten something pulled from a working, commissioned place. You know, I guess it depends where I get them from. That's a good way to put it. A lot of the places I buy from, their IT companies, they've gone in and they've upgraded whatever they're doing. So the computer is so outdated, that it can't accept an upgrade. And that's really true right now with Windows 10 not being supported anymore. They're all moving over to 11. Any place I can find user entering in 6614. I have 2 or 3 scrap yards. I can buy online. Government surplus auctions is really good, except they're horrendous for trying to figure out where you're going to go pick things up. Don't buy anything in New York City like I did. I wound up leaving the load. I couldn't do it. Just really read their ads well. That's a great place. If you're going to just scrap them, that's the place to go. Yeah. So, you know, you can always try and sell something first before you dismantle it. I usually do, but I know in this case, like I said, this is completely outdated. They usually put a date on the side. It says made in China. It doesn't have a date on this. There's probably a date on the CPU. I'm going to guess this one. This is probably early 1990s. Anything pre-2020, you're going to get a much better board. Xeon 1989 is the copyright date on this. So yeah, 1990-ish. IBM makes good, pretty good products. They're pretty good for gold recovery, and so on and so forth. So you know, we'll get 2 CPUs. Those will get sold as scrap. You're going to find, guys, if you try to enter the resale market for computer parts, not that I'm not telling you to do so, you're going to find there's no resale on things that are sold. There's none. They're sold for scrap. And even at scrap value, right now, these are going for almost $12 a pound. And let me tell you, that was unheard of. They were $3.49 a pound 2 years ago. And I know because I saved them, because I said I ain't selling them for that price. Unfortunately, I did save them. How much can you put in there? Yeah, this is probably close to that too. I think, boss, we just found that this was 1989 on the CPU. That is a much older Xeon, so that would be accurate. Older the golder, guys. The older the board, the better the gold. The more you're going to find. The new boards, the iCore boards, Garbagiola. The only good things you'll get will be RAM and hopefully an iCore CPU. All right. What else can I show you here? There's not as many. I thought I'd find more daughter cards, mother cards, things like that. Now I'm going to take this. I'm going to take off because it's going to my board buyer. As much as I love my board buyer, and I do, I'm not going to gain any value by leaving that on here. This is a dual socket motherboard. That's what it's going to go as. As far as things that are really good to look for on these. This is a gold banded crystal oscillator. The silver bandeds are like the ovals. I think I got here on. These are the silver. These are for silver content. Scrooge McDuckin says that these are one of the best things for gold recovery. He says you get more gold out of that than you will a ceramic CPU. And there's another one over here. Don't let those go by. These you should take. Even if you don't gold refine, that's something you could resell to somebody who does, eh? I don't gold refine. That's just it. You know what? It's not my thing. I like what I'm doing. I'm really enjoying showing people different things that they can dismantle. I'm enjoying doing resale. I don't enjoy the mess in the house. But it's winter time. Next year I'll have a shed. We're gonna get a shed built out there. Can you show me what you're talking about? You mean these guys right here? These are the gold banded crystal oscillators. And Scrooge says there's a lot of gold in here. He says there's more gold in here than there are in ceramic chips. There's one here and one here. So that's something you definitely want to take off the board. You're going to want to take these gold pins, again, unless you're selling the board to somebody who needs a replacement board, wants to try it. And you're going to take these. Reason being, again, this is a dual metal socket server motherboard. It's not going to get upgraded any way, shape, or form. You're not going to harm yourself taking that out. This is the hard drive board area. I don't know if you can see it. That is loaded with gold, so I'm going to definitely take that out as well. Like I said, what I do is I sell gold recovery things by the pound because I don't gold refine. It's not my comfort level. I don't think I'm ever going to do it. Did that answer your question, boss? I actually asked Scrooge about that the other day very specifically because he had said something on his recent live about that, and I'm like, wait a minute, what did I miss? What have I been missing all these years? And yeah, I was like, wow. It's got a copyright date of 1989. Adro. Here, let me pull it up again. The copyright doesn't always exactly match the date. Don't forget that the chip is. But this does say Intel 1989 Xeon right on the top. So my guess would be that would be the year this was copyrighted, and maybe they brought them in a little bit later. So, but it's it's an estimation as to the age of the computer. So, does that sound reasonable? I think you see them. Yeah, so 89 into 2000, exactly. So they made the chip in preparation for this. What they used to have was the ceramic chips, the Pentiums, the Intels. But as the price of precious metal went up, the need to make the boards cheaper also went up. See what they had? You had your 286, 386, 486 processors, and they would come in a square with holes all throughout it, and it was getting too costly. Good for you. That's awesome. These are going, I've got these, I'm probably going to, I have to sell them. I don't want to, but I have to. I'm going to sell them over to my friend Zach over at sellyourboards.com. He's offered me a really good price for them. I'm not going to sell them all, I'm going to sell half. So, what they had before that was something like this. And it would go into the book. Look at the gold pins. So what happened was gold started going up in the 90s, and it went up and up and up and up, and it's still affecting the way boards are made now. These are your purple ceramics. You found a lot of those back in those. Oh no, never. I would never do that. So you'll find those. If you can find computers pre-1990 before they went to the pinless CPU, which is exactly the discussion we're having, into the 90s they went into the pinless CPU. Why? Because it took less gold. Otherwise the price of the computers was going to become astronomical. And we're seeing that now, guys. Because of the stupid price of RAM, the price of computers is going absolutely bananas, So that happened then as well. So they got away from the pin CPUs and went to the pinless CPUs. And you're right, that transition was in the early 90s. Hi Joe, how are you? Xeon processors were 1998. Then why would this, and this isn't a challenge, this is a question. Why would this say Intel It's got copyrights. It's the X5650. I am going to make a note to myself to take a peek on that. I may be off with my dates, but I'm not off about what exactly happened in the transition over to these pens. I may be off with the actual date, but that was the transition on CPUs, was they got too expensive, they went to the metal socket and to these pinless. I will put a pin in that. I mean, it does say 89, I don't know. So I don't have a... Wrestling Academy, I do enough to enjoy it as a hobby. It's a good hobby. I'm never going to be a millionaire doing it. I run a music business. I run a school band instrument rental service, and it's dead in the winter, so this is kind of my winter thing. I'll be really super busy with that in the spring. I'll be really busy with that in the fall. So this is kind of something I do to keep busy. And I would say I actually have done pretty well, but it's because I've studied. I've studied quite a bit. And, you know, I don't buy anything that I know is going to be, that I expect to be junk. If I buy something, I make sure I've seen the inside of it and I know what I'm going to get out of it. And, you know, you gotta just find local people to work with. If you can get your e-scrap for free, yes, you can make money doing this. If you're paying for it, right? You know what, I wonder, and the boss says also some of his Xeons say 89. I wonder if it was a first generation, second generation, third generation kind of thing. But this does say Intel 89. X5650. I'm going to, I will put a pin on that and I will, yeah, me too, boss. We'd all be millionaires, right? Okay, so Joe says, most Xeon processors in 89 and 90 were for schools, medical, and military equipment. The Intel Xeon, Miyarasi says the Intel Xeon X5650 is 2010. But again, then why does this say Intel X5650, 1989? Could it just be the copyright date? 66HZ. Well, anyway, I may be off with the dates, but I'm not off about the That's true. That's true, Adro. THFUSS. I'm sorry, I've just absolutely brutalized your name. Yeah. Because, see, this is why I like the live chat. Lots of good input. That makes me a better content creator because I learn stuff from you guys. I do know that was the part of the progression of the boards. So what happened is the boards, even the contents, these earlier boards have a lot of gold and copper. The more current the board, the less gold is in it. That's basically what it comes down to. And it was because gold and silver, well, gold mostly went up, and you know, they couldn't keep the pricing of the computer, so everybody could get one. So yeah, what you up to? Oh, trashing computers. Not usual. Oh no. I'm not. Oh no, I don't take it as a debate, man. Not at all. It's something I'm going to have to go back and look up. I'm actually going to take a peek over at BoardSort. They've got a really, really good video on the evolution of the boards and why the iCore boards are selling for so little. You know, I'm just not, you know what? I'm not sure enough to say, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I like doing research. I'm a teacher by trade. I love doing research. I love studying. I love learning new things, and you know, I'm not the be all and end all. Even AI is wrong sometimes. No, these have been decommissioned. Need a ride? Yeah, no, I don't want to provide false information. You're absolutely right. I'm certainly willing to fact check myself, boss. Absolutely. Um, I'm just curious on that, and that's a good thing. Curiosity is a good thing. So anyway, look at that. This is where the hard drive just came out. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous bit of gold, eh? That'll go into one of my Goldie boxes. Yes, I agree, Nita. I do have to upgrade some of my tools. Nina, I do have to do that. So here's some really good gold recovery here. Now this I'm gonna leave. I mean, I'm not going into this to beat up my buyer. You know, I've got to leave him something. I'll leave him that. I'll probably leave. You know, if I strip it all down, he's going to be very unhappy with me. But my point is, this is dual socket motherboard. No matter what I do to it, I can take everything off, and that's what it still is. But my spirit of fair play tells me otherwise. Oopsie. Bortso will buy these as gold connector end pins. I'm going to put that in with, you know, I'll have a box of these for gold recovery. I'll put up for sale eventually when I get enough. Some good gold on this computer, huh? Sometimes heat sinks like this, you got to be careful because if you start whacking at them, they're going to pull the chips off. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to take these. Always away from your face, guys. I should be wearing goggles and gloves. I really should. Someday I'm going to learn my lesson. We were having a very lively discussion about one of my first lives. I just slipped my finger open. I had to cut the live because I had to call the MS to come and stitch my finger. Oh, you ain't kidding. So, if anybody saw my post yesterday about anybody who says Snow is Pretty is going to get a boot in the derriere, I did not see that it had added a Hey Siri, how's the weather? Which was
it's currently clear and 28 degrees. Expect cloudy skies starting in the afternoon. Today's high will be 31 and the low will be 16.
Thanks, Siri. But the I forgot that was my mom's phone. That phone that just went off when I said that, and I had it set for her to be able to speak to SIRI, so she could not have to deal with, if she needed help, she could just get help. And I never changed it back, so that was really funny. I was glad I did that because one day I was out in the backyard just kicking back and relaxing, and suddenly the phone, you know, answered, and I could hear she was far from the phone, but she had used the Hey SIRI feature and gotten it to call me. She needed help. So it's a really good feature if you have an elderly family member or somebody whose hands are not good. That Hey SIRI is a good thing. Except when it interrupts them live. Oops. Yeah, these are really nice pins. Good gold recovery there. You know, when I get a nice baggie full, I'll weigh it and sell it. But look at the color. Look at the coloration on this gold. You don't get that on the modern day stuff. You just don't get it. Not like this. I just sent my friend Kevin, who's one of our subscribers here. He just ordered a half a pound of very beautiful gold pins from me. Hoping I can at least get out to do my shipping today. I don't know. It's pretty. The problem is it's icy. So we'll sacrifice this one board for the sake of showing you where the gold is, and then the other three I won't really do as much because I don't want to pissing off your board buyer is a bad idea. Nice gold in there. You can put these in the freezer, freeze the plastic, or you can make plug soup. You know, they're very tedious though. I leave that for whoever I sell it to do. All right, so to remove the rest of this want to check these pins. Oh, I did turn it around. I was going to say, where did those come from? I definitely want to make sure I get this guy off the corner. That's a gold oscillator, gold banded crystal oscillator, I think it's called. Now, Scrooge did a really good breakdown. I hope he put it live on his YT channel. Pretty much of every component that's in, every chip, everything. And, oops. Plug soup, you're right. It's funny. I was teasing somebody about that, maybe OTD. But Patrick Williams makes plug soup, and so does Scrapin' Irish. See, I'm not going to try and get these off because I'm going to damage the chip if I do. And in this case, the board buyer would just as soon it stay there without a chip. If these chips are all taken off, yes, he's going to downgrade it, and rightly so. I would too. All right, what else do we have here? That's a battery. That's going to come off. You can't ship with a battery on. It's considered hazardous waste. This little button right here is going to have a silver contact. Anything that pushes on and off will have silver contact. A lot of gold in here. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colored gold in the memory slots. Expansion slots have a lot of gold in them as well. I know I'm getting close to my hour. I just if it boots me off, I don't want to get booted because it's like I just say goodbye and don't even say nothing new. That's not cool. I need to I've got to get the downstairs set up again. A lot of you know that I've been dealing with a really bad flood here at the house, and it destroyed my basement, my workshop, my kitchen, and my bathroom. By the time it was all said and done, we had over $100,000 worth of damage to the house. All I can say is God is good. We've come through it, and I'm looking forward to. I've got the house the whole first floor is going to all be redone. It needed to be redone anyway. I just didn't need to redo it that way. Okay, so these. I think I'm going to leave these. I'm going to leave that on the board for my board buyer. That's mediocre for gold recovery for us, and it'll be a little bit better value for him. So I'm going to leave those on. They're not the caliber of the other things. I'm certainly happy that I've gotten enough off of this board to at least make my money back for what I've paid on it. I think you're right, Joe. Joe says the Xeon processors made in the 85 through 88 have copyright of 89 to keep other companies from copying. And that's what I think. That's why I think maybe it's just the copyright date as opposed to the actual date they put them into actual service on all of the computers. I vaguely remember reading about it somewhere, some point back, but my knowledge is more of something called MIPS, M-I-P-S, and Digital. They're both really old computer companies, and I've been enjoying studying about those. They were first to the table, really, with the PC, and MIPS boards are worth a lot of money. I picked up a vintage lot of computers, and I put them up for resale, and the ones that had these MIPS boards went bananas. I have one down in the basement that is actually going to be given on loan to the Smithsonian Museum. They asked for it. I wrote to them about this. I said, the only one I know that's in existence is in your museum. They said, we'd like to have the other one. And I said, I think what I'll do is I'll bring it down. We'll put it on loan, and I don't, this way, when I go, my family can decide whether to bequest it or something they want to keep. But I definitely think it's just so cool. There's some things that you just shouldn't destroy. And again, I only found out what that was. One of my subscribers was into vintage computers and said, don't sell that. It's a Jazz development board. I had 3 of them. Yeah, I think you're right, Joe. Intel was forced to copyright the chips because of sensitive information. And yes, it is a lot of memory slots on this computer. You don't have to fill them all to make the computer run. We got, what did I say, 12? Yeah, we got 12 low-profile shielded RAM out of that computer. Now that I will put up for resale, either for scrap or if somebody has a small form computer they want to do that in. Alright, so the other thing I have left to do is to get the board off the body, and I don't think that's going to be too hard to do. I've showed you all the golden goodness that I could find. I probably, servers, you usually have to get the metal brackets off to get them off the Intel was forced to copyright the chips because they had sensitive information. Let's see. The question was, it looks like a lot of memory slots. How much did it have? Well, I have 8 here. Thanks, guys. I made my goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 times 8. Let's lighten it up there for me. Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. Possibly. I don't know. Hi, Joshua. Thank you so much. Joshua just got the number 2 badge. Joshua just lit it up, man. Thanks, Joshua. Wow, guys. 6.2K. Now, for me, this time of the morning, that's pretty darn good. All right. Let me see if I can get this bracket off so I can show you the other side of the board. I don't expect there to be a lot more there. Again, this is going to grade as a dual. Actually, they grade them as a multi-socket, multi-metal socket motherboard. And I've got a pretty good box of these going. I'm going to spend the rest of this week just boxing up all my computer components. It's too cold for me to go outside, and it's way too icy. So I'm going to be banished to the house today and tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to get out this afternoon. When it gets warmer, it might be okay. And let's see. Any screws that I missed? You're just going to piss me off because you can. And you guys are in the Connecticut area, by the way. If you see something go by that you're interested in, let me know. Or if you're willing to pay for the shipping, let me know. Okay, why are we? Sure. Gonna give me a hard time just because you can, just like that Cisco board did the other day. Well, it's loose. Come on. Aha. All it takes is one day. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate that. You know, I enjoy it. I enjoy this very much. I'm going on a year and a couple of months with TikTok. My 2 nephews got me into TikTok. I started doing the YouTube thing, which I was comfortable with. And they're like, you've got to go live or you're not going to go anywhere. I'm like, I don't want to go live. You know, who the hell wants to listen to me babble? And we'd gone out to lunch one day, and William had a broken Nintendo. Or Wii or whatever he had. And he said, hey, Auntie D, I want my game back. Would you scrap this on live TV if we set you up? I'm like, hell no. He said, well, we're doing it anyway. So they plopped themselves in my front room. Will set me up a TikTok account. I had the YouTube, but I didn't have TikTok. And started videoing. And son of a gun, it took off. You know, I really didn't quite expect that. There, I've got to lift these over these little screws now. It should come out. And here I am. Yep, there's my hour, guys. Oops. It's probably going to cut off on us. And so let me say my goodbyes now because it's going to cut off. I just had my verification. I'll get this board out, and on the next round I'll show you what was in it. And I will see you on the next one. I'm going to cut out only because my hour is up and I want to be able to repost this. And I'll talk to you guys real soon. I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.